Hey guys, my name is Shirley and welcome to Learning with Purpose, where it's all about helping you achieve your educational goals. Okay, so today's video is for all my Year 11 students who have just finished their Year 11 part of their HSC journey and are moving on to Year 12. Today I just have my top 12 things that you should do before you enter into Year 12. Now, I'm not saying you have to do all of these things. I'm just saying these are a few good things that I think are good to know before you enter into Year 12. Alright, so these are in no particular order, but number one is to let go of any negativity from Year 11. Now, we all have different journeys. Some people may have had a great Year 11 journey. Some people may have had a not so great Year 11 journey. Whatever it is, if you have any negativity from Year 11, please let go of it. If you have any beef between you and your teachers, any relationship issues, any subjects that really ruined you or anything like that, any negativity, whatever it may be, let go of it and make sure that when you're entering into Year 12, you've got good vibes, you're positive, and you're just ready for a good year. Number two is to review your performance from Year 11. Now, Year 11 and Year 12 are quite very similar. I mean, the point of Year 11 is pretty much to prepare you for Year 12. So look at your performance, look at your strengths and your weaknesses, things that you did well and things that you did not so well throughout Year 11, and try to have an overall brief plan on how you plan on improving on those weaknesses, or how you plan on getting better on your strengths from Year 11. So yeah, overall, just look at your performance and see what things you need to tweak before you enter into Year 12. Number three, make sure that you have all your books and your stationery set and ready to go. There's nothing worse than being in week 4 of Year 12 and you still don't have your maths textbook. You're having to ask your friends or your teachers to take pictures and send it to you of your homework. It's just a mess. Try to avoid it. So yeah, go to Officework, go to Kmart, wherever you get your stationery from, order your books, make sure it's ready before the term starts. So when the term does start, you've got everything to go and you're just like, yes, teach me what I need to know. Tip number 4 is to print out all your syllabus for the upcoming term. Now, if you haven't heard this before, it's going to become a quite common statement, which is your syllabus is your Bible. Throughout Year 12, your syllabus is going to have to be your best friend. You're going to have to rely on it for a lot of things. So if in the first term of Year 12, you're going to be covering, let's say, Discovery in English, make sure you print out your Discovery rubric. Let's say for business studies, if you're covering operations, make sure you print out the operations part of your syllabus. So for all your subjects, if you don't know what you're going to be covering, pop your teacher an email or something like that and ask them what you're going to be covering. But yeah, make sure you have the parts of your syllabus that you need for next term ready and printed. Tip number 5 is to organize your study area. So you may have had a study area from Year 11. You don't need to change that. If that worked for you, hey, keep it. But yeah, go around your house, find a place that you want to be a designated study area. Set that place as your study area and organize it. If you have a filing system, organize your files. Make sure all your stationery and everything is ready on your study desk and set to go. Tip number 6 is to sort out all your work and extracurricular activities. Now, personally for me, I felt like once I entered Year 12, the workload did get a little bit more than in Year 12 and the pressure was a bit higher. So I really did need to cut out a few hours from work. Some people, they're perfectly fine. They find Year 12 smooth and easy sailing. But for the rest of us, it really wasn't that way. So yeah, what I would recommend you to do, if you have any extracurricular activities or if you have work commitments, make sure that they're not going to be taking time out of your study time. So let's say currently you're working, 6 days a week. It may be a good idea to talk to your manager and be like, hey, can I cut down to 4 days a week? If you do 5 extracurricular activities, maybe you might want to drop one of those things just so that you have that little bit extra study time for Year 12. If you feel like you can manage and you're cool, then hey, you're fine, don't do anything. But it's just something that would be good to have done and dusted before entering into Year 12. Tip number 7 is to set ground rules between you and your family and your friends. Now, Year 12, like I said, for some people it's easy, it's smooth sailing, but for the rest of us it was a bit of a struggle. So set ground rules with your family. Like I lived with like a relatively large-ish, medium-sized family. I mean, I had like a 4-year-old brother at the time, so he was quite loud and noisy. So make sure you set ground rules with your family. And what I mean is by like saying, Mom, Dad, between 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. I'll be studying, so I really need minimal noise. Or can you restrict the number of guests that come over? If you have siblings, make sure they understand that when you're studying, they can't just barge into your room or whatever, things like that. I'm not saying be like, hey, I'm not going to be doing any chores or anything like that throughout my year 12 journey. No, I'm not saying that at all, but do establish good ground rules with your family and even your friends as well. Like, make sure your friends do understand that, hey, maybe you may not be able to go out every single Saturday night because now you have this little bit of an extra commitment. It's only 1 year. I'm pretty sure they will survive without you coming out with them every single weekend. Tip number 8, I heard this from one of my teachers when I was in year 12, and when she said it, I'm like, are you crazy? But it is to add the Board of Studies websites on your bookmark bar. Now, the Board of Studies website, as dry as it may be at times, it's pretty much going to be one of your greatest resources. I mean, that's where your syllabus are, and that's where your past papers are, where your marking guidelines are, and everything like that. So you put it just on that like little book, you know, like if you have Chrome and then you have that like little bookmark bar where you just can like easily click on a website. Yeah, add it there. I think my teacher said like add it to your favorites or something like that. But you know, Board of Studies, it's something that you need to be visiting quite regularly. So click, just add it on your bookmark bar so you have easy access to it. When you open your laptop, it'll remind you that, hey, maybe it's time to do a past paper. Hey, maybe it's time to review my syllabus. So yeah, it's not like a make or break. It's not going to be like what determines if you're going to get an 88 ATAR or a 99.95 ATAR, but it's just like a little thing that's just good to have, easily accessible. Tip number 9 is to find an accountability buddy or to build a support network. Now, like I keep saying, the HSC can be difficult at times, and sometimes you really will need that support network. So it is a good idea to find somebody. They don't necessarily have to be doing the same subjects as you. They don't even need to be in the same year as you. They can be like a mentor, your parents, somebody who's done the HSC before, somebody who's in your same class. You can just pick anyone, pretty much. Somebody who you can be accountable to. Like, let's say you're feeling really lazy this week and you feel like doing a past paper. You can be like, hey, can you make sure that I actually do this past paper? And just having that support network is really good for like times when you get bad marks and you need that motivation, and you know, you just need somebody to, you know, sometimes keep an eye on you to make sure that you are working consistently throughout the year. So yeah, this is a good time to, you know, find an accountability buddy, start building that support network for when you need it. Okay, so we're nearly there, but tip number 10 is to plan out a rough study routine that you're going to be implementing after school. So have like a rough idea of what you would like your day to be like. Obviously, you're not going to know what year 12 is exactly going to be like until you're actually in it, but it's just good to have a rough plan of how you plan on attacking the tip number 11 is to set goals, both long-term and short-term goals. So at this stage, you should have an idea of what your dream ATAR is. And don't be afraid to dream high. Like, honestly, if your grades have been like 70% or whatever and you're aiming for like an 85, that's perfectly cool. Set a goal that obviously is realistic, but dream big. Like, don't be restricted by anything. Okay, so we finally made it. Tip number 12 is to stay calm. Now, I get at this time you may have a lot of mixed emotions. You may be nervous, you may be excited, but yeah, we all have different emotions. Stay calm, chill, you be okay. The HSC is a game, just play along. You'll be fine. Work hard, don't be lazy, implement good study techniques, implement good study strategies, and you will rock it. Okay, so thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to whatever I have to say. If you did like the video, do not forget to pop the like and subscribe button below and share it around with your friends so we can build an amazing community. So with all that being said, dream big and hustle hard. I'll see you again next time. Bye.